Hey, it's Sarah. I hope you're well. In today's video, we're going to look at Cancer's general forecast for the month of November 2022. Lots of changes are on the way for Cancer natives. This video covers your general outlook for Sun, Moon, and Rising sign in Cancer. Of course, this is my take on the energy and the cards, and because of that, it may not resonate with everyone. If it doesn't resonate with you, no worries, pass it on by, and I do hope you find what you're looking for. Okay, let's do this. The first card is going to be the energy you're bringing forward from October into November. And the card is honoring your true feelings. I think this definitely is right on track. In October, you definitely shifted your focus from taking advice from other people, and you realize the importance of listening to your intuition and following through on it. Because when you rationalize that you should do something someone else is telling you to do, you deny that part of yourself. You deny your own true feelings. You deny your own inner truth. All of us have that internal counselor or that internal connection to our higher self that speaks wisdom to us, but we don't always listen to it because sometimes it doesn't make any sense. It's like when we follow our intuition, or we have a gut feeling about something that you can't put into words or describe. And I think you were having gut feelings that were speaking very loudly to you, and you knew that it was time to make some major changes. It's time to move. It's time to rethink your career. And it's time to also look at your relationships, which is a major upheaval. But that's what Cancer's been going through for the last several months. It's not been one sector of your life. It's kind of like the whole thing is on fire and you're supposed to get things done now, except you weren't really given a lot of guidance. So you may feel compelled to leave a particular situation that's unacceptable, even though it doesn't make sense on paper. Don't discount what you're feeling. Don't go against yourself. Follow that internal compass, and it won't lead you astray. And if you're unclear on which direction to go or what you really need to focus on, take some time, get clear, meditate, journal, and really tap into your inner guidance. So that's what was going on in October, and that's the energy we see towards the first week or so of November. Major upheaval, things are changing quickly, and you're being forced out of your comfort zone. So it's not a good place to be. Well, let me correct that. Uncomfortable place to be. But this is the energy that pushes you forward to the next chapter. Once you get through this, things are going to be much easier. Trust me, Cancer, things are going to get better. Let's pick the next card, which will be your biggest obstacle for the month. And the next card is family harmony. I think that you've learned a lot over the course of the last couple of years regarding family dynamics, and it's caused some changes in your family structure. Some of the people you thought you could count on, maybe not so much, and there were some arguments and there was some strife. This card doesn't actually mean that things are going to magically get better, but it does mean that things are smoothing out somewhat. So as an obstacle that's probably bothering you, the family situation, and the fact that, you can't really count on your family right now. As I say, you've learned a lot. You've gained great wisdom from past experiences, and I think very soon you're going to be called upon to share this wealth of knowledge with others, and this could be in a form of writing or speaking or counseling or something like that. So that could also end up being a career change. But the situation with your family is the instigator probably of the move, the new chapter beginning. So it's not comfortable, but it's part of a bigger change. And so that's going to be the biggest obstacle for the month, is still issues with the family. Let's pick the next card, which will be your greatest asset to work with in the month. And the card is quiet time. So we're looking at withdrawing, spending time alone, perhaps in nature, and really thinking things through. Getting clear on what you want, getting clear on what your options are, and connecting with that quiet part of yourself, which is once again your intuition, your inner guidance, tapping into that and listening, because the problem is probably not what you think it is. What you're dealing with or have been dealing with is a symptom of the problem. You've stayed perhaps in a career or a housing situation that you knew you need to let go of, and it's time. It's time to make some big changes. And it's frightening, especially when we're talking about moving house and it's not in your control. Your house is your castle. It's where you should feel safe and feel at home, but it doesn't feel like that anymore, which is a good signal that, yeah, it's time to move. Your biggest asset for the month is going to be finding that quiet space and listening and restoring your energy without all of the turmoil and chaos that you felt over the last, 4 months. So this is going to be a game changer. So even if you can just take a day here and there, or even half a day here and there, and go somewhere alone, maybe take your pet companion with you and just relax in nature or relax in a place that you feel safe. Think things through. Write, paint, create, do whatever you need to express yourself and get to the bottom of what's really going on. Let's look at the next card, which will be your home life. And the card is moving forward fearlessly. Gee, I wonder what this means. Yeah, you know that you're going to have to move. You know that the situation is changing rapidly. You're not feeling comfortable at home, but yet you're also not quite ready to leave it either. Circumstances being what they are, it's time to formulate a plan and think about where you would like to live, what you would like to do, what you need to feel safe at home. And it could be downsizing, something that's more affordable, or it could be changing geographical location because you're done in that area. And that can be overwhelming. But if you will tap into the universe, you will understand the messages that you're receiving, that it's time to go and that you will be taken care of. Even though it can be frightening, you have the courage, Cancer. You're a very strong sign. I think Cancer gets a really bad rap, but ultimately Cancer is steadfast in taking care of business, taking care of others, and getting through emotional chaos. I mean, nobody handles it better than you do, honestly. Use some of that compassion, some of that nurturing energy that you give to everybody else for yourself. And think about that too. What would you tell your best friend if they were in the situation? What advice would you give them? Move forward. You've got this. You can do it. Okay, let's pick the next card. Let's draw your health. Vacation. Alrighty. It's time. It's time to take a break and take a vacation. And I know it may not seem like the best time to do it. You're in chaos at work and you're in chaos at home, but that's when we need the break. It's not something that, okay, well, we'll take next summer. You need the break now. And as I said before, if you can only get away for half a day or a weekend, then do it. Just think of a place you can go that's not going to be overly expensive, where you can go and be in nature and find that quiet, find that time, and restore your energy. Get back in touch with yourself. When we're in the middle of chaos, it's really hard for us to hear our intuition, hear our guides, or connect with the universe. If you can go on vacation, take a break, like I say, even half a day for that matter, you'll get back in touch with that and you're going to be inspired and new ideas are going to come to you. So this is all moving forward towards this next chapter. Okay, let's look at your love life. And I'm going to draw 2 cards. And they are make music and financial flow. So how does that translate to your love life? Well, making music is about relaxing and creating. And you're a very creative person, but it's really tough to create when you're in chaos. What would it take for you to take an hour, say today or tomorrow, just to create? Not to make something for sale, not to make a gift, not to complete a project that somebody else is waiting on, but just create for the sake of creating. Make music for the sake of making music. Crafting just for the pleasure of it. Reading, writing, painting, whatever it may be, just for the sake of it. And it could be that you have stopped this part of your life because of the situation where you were dating someone who was taking a lot of time, and then work was taking a lot of time, and there's just, chaos going on. You personally need that outlet. You need to create as a way to express your feelings. And if you don't take the time to create, then you're likely to end up feeling lethargic, probably angry, and maybe even just fatigued and kind of in a fog. And this will cause the relationship to suffer. Work's going to suffer. Everything's going to suffer. So it's really important that you talk to your partner or the person you're dating and say, hey, look, I need some time alone. I need to go on this vacation. I need time to read at night or craft at night or, make music on Saturdays or do this. I need this time to myself. And they should understand. And if they don't understand, then that signals a bigger issue. I think the financial flow plays into this too, because you don't think that you have time to date. You don't think you have time to do the things you need to do because of the money situation. And that makes perfect sense. When you're struggling with money, the last thing you want to do is go on a romantic holiday or go on a date. No, of course not. So once the money evens out, and it will, trust me, it will, it's going to take a while. It's going to take several months actually. But once the money evens out, you will be in a much better spot than you are right now to talk about romantic vacations, dating, and such. You've met somebody new that is still kind of, just in the background. Whether or not that relationship is going to move forward has to do with you taking time for you and getting clear on what you need, because this is part of this new chapter, making time for yourself and putting boundaries in place where you do make sure that your needs are met. And it can be frightening to be in a spot where you're standing up for yourself when it comes to your needs, because you may have in the past been taught that your needs should be on the back burner, that it is a better quality to take care of others than to say no because you need to sit home and make music, right? So it's a different way of looking at life, but this is a necessary change. This is taking care of you and validating your feelings. And if that person doesn't understand, whether that is your partner or just somebody you started dating, a change is needed in the relationship. Also, married or partnered Cancer natives may have some resentment over their spouse and the way their spouse handled the finances or is handling the money. Rather than wait, talk it through now, clear the air, and you may have to take control of the finances. But you definitely need to take some time and decide if this is a deal breaker, because it could be. So let's draw the next card where you're likely to be at the end of the month. Kindness. Have you noticed that there's a lot of animals in these cards? Not every fairy oracle card has an animal in it, but it seems like there's a lot of animals coming up in these cards. So that's interesting in itself. I think that animals are going to play a big part in what's going on in November. So, okay, the card kindness. Cancer doesn't have a problem with empathy or kindness at all. I think this card translates to be kind to each other, be kind to yourself. The world is hard enough as it is without making it any more difficult. We all live in a very stressful world, and we see that, sometimes we really give ourselves a hard time. We push ourselves too hard. We belittle ourselves, or we hold ourselves up to unrealistic expectations. So this card shows there's going to be a shift, and you're going to start being much kinder to yourself. And kindness is so easy. Like I say, it comes natural to you because you are so empathetic. The trick is to take this kindness and apply it to yourself. Try to speak kinder about yourself. Stop criticizing yourself. Stop putting yourself down when you're talking to other people. Know that your life is changing. What happened 2 months ago is not going to define you. What happened last week isn't the course you're on now. Things are changing rapidly, and they're changing for the better. Looking ahead, I'm doing the yearly overview for the signs, and they should be up by the 20th of November or so. So if you haven't subscribed, be sure you do. You don't want to miss the big yearly overviews. These are usually some of my most popular videos of the year. But anyway, looking ahead, Cancer, 2023 is going to be a much better year for you. This is the beginning, though, of these major changes. While you're uncomfortable, and this is, moving forward fearlessly during this energy, we see that this is how you get to the place you want to be. Be brave, move forward, don't discount your intuition or your inner guidance, and put those boundaries in place so that you have time to take care and nurture yourself. And I think overall, this is going to be a month that flies by for you. It's going to go really quickly, and you're going to see by the end of the month, you're in a much better place than you are at the beginning of it. Okay, I'm going to draw another card from the Animal Tarot deck, because there's a lot of animals in these cards, and see what the general theme is for the month. And the card is Parrot, 8 of Autumn. So this is a perfect time to learn all you can by returning to school, taking a seminar, or conducting research. Do your best work and the law of attraction will bring you prosperity and career advancement. This is a signal that this is going to be a great month to take some classes. Go back to school, go on a retreat, do something that will feed your mind. Not only will this take your mind off the situation, but it will also probably give you the message that you need to move forward into December and January. Also, I would say spend time with your animal companions because the animals were showing up a lot in this deck. I think that, yeah, and the parrot showed up twice if you think about it. It was on the vacation card too. Is the catalyst of change? Well, it's been building, but I think this is the month where you make those decisions and you see major returns because you know you can't keep doing what you're doing. It's not working. So once you admit that and you start looking for solutions and you start tapping into that inner intuition and stop listening to what everybody else tells you you should be doing, because situations generally look good on paper, but when you have to live them, it can be very different. And at the end of the day, you're responsible for your decisions. So if somebody's giving you advice that's going against your inner guidance, you're going to have to live with the consequences. Take some time, get quiet, tap in, maybe journal out your feelings, look at the pros and cons of moving, of changing jobs, of ending relationships, of beginning relationships, and decide what's best for you. And remember, nothing's written in stone. You can always change the course you're on. So as I said, this is beginning of new opportunities. You're creating the foundation in November. You've got this, Cancer. Things are going to definitely shift for the better. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this little mini reading. If you did, let me know down in the comments section below. And also, if you found value in this video, why not consider joining the YouTube community or becoming a patron? Patrons make these videos possible. So if you like this type of content, let me know. Show me some love, okay? All right. Thanks for watching and stay tuned for the next video. Reiki blessings.